stinky breath. No! Mm. have a baby in my lap. Not in my lap. In between me and the computer. The game's called Kind Words. It's actual people. So, like, just sending anonymous notes and messages. And it has lo-fi music background. When I saw it in the store, I thought maybe it had something to do with just being a lo-fi writing program, but it's actually more like a anonymous note passing thing. I forgot the word for when you extension, there we go. It can be, but sometimes a lot of it, everyone's been very extremely stressful lately, so I haven't played in over a week, even though I had messages, just because I was like, I can't help with any of this, and it was not helping my stress like I was hoping. You kind of have to be in the mindset for it. Yeah, I see where you're getting at. That would be cool. That's what I thought was supposed to happen with the video. Yeah, it's kind of weird they made it so it wasn't attached. I didn't even know it was April 1st today. yeah, it's just, it took a lot more for me growing up to realize when there was a difference and recognize it, but that's also why I was kind of more stuck up, I guess you could say, in early high school. But eventually you realize shit just doesn't pop out the same way that it does in any media. I mean, I still fucking believe in it. It's just not, once you finally start working in adult life, you realize, this is why shit falls and why your parents never have friends and whatever. Well, actually, that's not fair. Your parents have friends. But I don't know many adults that, you know, we did as kids in school. Jeez, Bella. Jeez, Bella. Hey. Hey. Here. Okay, I just wanted to see you do that. You're so silly. I don't even know for sure. I know. Bella didn't want to reply. Actually, Bella just wants to be comfortable. You can't tell. She just wants to be comfortable. Look at this baby. She is being so baby. You just now saw that one? That one's been around forever. At least a few weeks. Bella, I need to start writing. I gotta write some kind words. I gotta write, baby. She's like, I don't wanna stand. No, Bella, you just want to be a baby. What, Bella? Attic? Like, I think I used to say ETC, but now I just say etc. If I ever said ETC, I was like teenager. I forgot where I was going with this. Oh my gosh. That's cute. No. Mm. Why are you crying? You're the one. You're the one that was falling asleep and yes. You're the one that was falling asleep. So when you slipped, of course you made yourself scared. She was complaining because she got scared because she was slipping. She's the one that's sleeping right here on a slippery surface. Me just a baby. Oh, just a baby. See? Just a baby. You're just a baby. You're just a baby. You're just a baby. You are a baby, Bella. She is so sleepy. She has all of the sleep face. She just has so much sleepy face. Yes, you do. Yeah. Yeah, you have sleepy face. You have sleepy face. She's just a baby. She's just a baby. Oh, bless you. Why you gotta sneeze? Why do you have a sneasel? Why are you sneezing? Huh? Just a baby. She's just a baby. I'm so bored. I don't know what to do. That's how bored I am. You've got to be careful, Bella. There's not a lot of space. That's not space. That's not space, you silly girl. You silly. You silly. Bella's just silly. She thought she could get on the keyboard. She thought she could be on a keyboard. so sleepy and bored. I don't know. I want to be awake. I want to do stuff. Bella. Ella. Bella. Oh no, you have a nose drip. Oh no, your nose drip. Yeah, you got a nose drip. Oh, little girl. So little. Yeah. Yeah. I was giving her brushies and all she loved it so much she just kept headbutting me so hard. She was just like, "Oh, this is so good. This is so good." Whack. Whack, whack. I don't want that one. Is there a silly button? There's not a silly button. My baby girl. I was trying to see if I could think of something fun to play. Does Cat Quest have cards? It does. Okay. Does. I don't think Exit 8 has it. I'm gonna go get something to wake me. Well, it's not hard to yawn right now. Not to mention, I think my period just kicked in, like, right before I went live. But I have a Walmart order coming in like an hour or two. So, I'm gonna see if I got something that'll wake me up. Oh. Wee. God damn it. Big sleepers. Big sleepers. There's nothing I can think of. Didn't I have some? I think I had something I set aside for. I had 8. Space Channel 5 shouldn't be in this category. What the fuck? Well, since I didn't realize it was April Fool's, but I have technically an April Fool's category. Let's play a game from there. Do I have any cards? Yeah, 6 cards left to collect, but I mean, how many to just one drop? I don't even... What, babes? Okay, well, this one's already installed, so... We'll play this one, because I know they actually have voice. It actually has voice thing. Oh no, I think I have to take it out of full screen mode, do I? Well, that's stupid. Oh god, why did it window like this? God, how far down am I? Okay. There we go. Where are we at? Come on, go back to screen mode. Okay. This is a fun game. Bella! Bella!
William Shakespeare, 1564 AD to whenever he died, was well known for borrowing from existing literature when writing his plays. Romeo and Juliet is pretty much...
Why is the background music so loud? I don't want to turn music off.
William Shakespeare, 1564 AD to whenever he died, was well known for borrowing from existing literature when writing his plays. Romeo and Juliet is pretty much lifted entirely from Arthur Brooks' poem, The Tragical History of Romulus and Juliet. Dude didn't even change the names. And as recent Shakespeare scholarship has established, the famed play William Shakespeare Presents Hamlet was lifted wholesale from the volume you are about to enjoy. To Be or Not to Be. To Be or Not to Be is both the earliest recorded example of the books as game genre, as well as the first instance ever in the then newish English language that was kicking around of an adventure being chosen by you, the reader. We've gone ahead and added illustrations, plus we've taken the liberty of marking with tiny York skulls the choices Shakespeare himself made when he plagiarized his book back in olden times. They're there in case you wish to put yourself in Shakespeare's shoes, reading this book as he did, stealing plot elements wholesale, and classing up the language as he/you went/go. However, that is not the only way to read this book. Feel free to explore your other options, as each time you read this book, you can go on a different adventure, assuming you don't read the book like 3 quadrillion times, at which point the adventures will start to repeat, and they'll probably seem pretty familiar long before then anyway. Now, take yourself back to history, when ghosts walked the earth and nobody knew velociraptors were even a thing. Steel yourself to experience the magic of Shakespeare as it was meant to be experienced, in a non-deterministic narrative structure, where you end up thinking maybe you made a wrong decision, so you mark the pages you were just on, so you can always go back and make a different choice if you die for some dumb reason. To be or not to be, that is the adventure. Choose your character. Man, what if I just read the acknowledgements instead? Whoa, slow down there, cowboy. At the end of that last bit, you were supposed to make a choice, and then jump to the page that reflects that choice. Instead of following those instructions, you just kept reading what came next like this is an ordinary book. This book is crazy insane. How are you even acting like this is an ordinary book? You die without even having chosen your character. The end. And your final score is maybe learn to read books better sometime. Out of 1,000.
Oh, why is it cut off?
Dude, that's not a very good score, I gotta say. No book comes together without an author feeling like Thon's in debt to someone. Thanks to Metafilter for all the terrific advice on how to dispose of a body and not get caught. Spoiler alert, there are murders in this book. They have a page just about this, did you know that? They're one of the top search results for how to dispose of a body. And I guess also thanks to the Canadian Security Intelligence Service for not getting me in trouble, yet. After I ran all those searches for how to dispose of a body. And I want to know how to get rid of a dead human body. And gross dead body, plus how to hide it. And what if I committed the murder act? How do I ditch the body and not go to jail? It's an emergency. Thanks also to Chef Michael Smith, Emily Horn, and William Shakespeare for the stew recipe. Spoiler alert, you can learn to make stew in this book too. It's not murders all the time. For the expansive knowledge of boats and the seas in which they sail. Spoiler alert, play your cards right in this book, and you just might gain command of a pirate ship. Just be cool. And for ripping me off and making this book so famous. But which thank you applies to which person? That is for you to decide. Yes, even here in this acknowledgement parenthetical, it's up to you to choose your own adventure. But I mean, come on, it's pretty obvious. Thanks to all my artist friends who drew all these pretty pictures in the book. You've made death into a visually stunning treat, and thanks to Chrissy Calhoun for copy editing this book and fixing all my dumb mistakes. Any that remain, I added in afterwards because of brain problems. Finally, thanks to Joey Comeau for his skills at chess, Ray Fox for his skills at Mad Libs, my extremely awesome wife Jen for being extremely awesome, and to my brother, Victor, who confirmed over walkie-talkie that the idea for this book was rad. And thanks to you for buying this book, or at least picking it up and flipping to this page. That took initiative. As a reward, you get to continue enjoying reading this book. Okay, I'm ready now. I will choose my character.
I don't know why this is delayed.
No. I'd rather read more acknowledgements. You know what? I want to know more about the author before I commit to anything. You know what? I want to be the author before I commit to anything. Gosh, well, I suppose if we're really doing this, then I also want to thank everyone involved in the series of events that led to me being here today, able to write and tell jokes for a living, which means I'm thanking pretty much everyone I've ever interacted with. And I'm also thanking everyone they've ever interacted with for helping to make them so awesome. And if I'm doing that, I should probably thank the people who influenced the people who interacted with the people who influenced me as well, right? Thank you, a large percentage of the planet that I'm pretty sure reaches 100%. But these people didn't just pop into existence fully formed. My thanks take a step sideways and begin racing back in time, up past everyone's parents and grandparents, and great-great-great-great-grandparents. Thanking them all as we go, further and further, grandparents getting hairier and hairier, until my thanks coalesce all the way back to 200,000 years ago in East Africa with mitochondrial Eve, the one woman from which every single human alive today descends. Thank you, mitochondrial Eve. My thanks speed up, thanking faster and faster back in time, humanity devolving before our eyes. My thanks extend to the first human, passed through Australopithecus, and then on through great apes. Thank you, great apes. Without you, none of us would be here. But my thanks are still speeding up, tearing through the primates, then the tree shrews, then the placental mammals. We're 125 million years in the past, thanking everyone we meet. We go back further, thanking the early vertebrates, watching them get smaller, simpler, until there's no animal life on land, and you blink and it's 2,100,000,000 years ago. And we're thanking the very first cell with a nucleus, alone in the ocean. Thank you, very first cell with a nucleus. You're a neat little guy. You started some really cool stuff. We watch the cells around us get simpler, more primitive, and then they're gone. My thanks are rushing backwards almost impossibly quickly through this empty planet when suddenly we're watching the Earth itself break apart, diffusing into a tremendous cloud of dust and gas. Mixed in here are the beginnings of all the other planets in our solar system, plus all the material that would one day become our sun. We're 4,568,000,000 years in the past, and we are thanking a lifeless hunk of diffuse matter with all our heart. As we're doing that, it combines itself with a colossal molecular cloud, a stellar nursery from which a whole bunch of suns would eventually form, including our own. Thank you, giant molecular cloud, 65 million light-years wide. You were probably very pretty. The universe around us is contracting, getting smaller and denser and hotter, until we're in a universe only a few meters across and shrinking at an incredibly fast rate. 13 billion years in the past, we are thanking the entire universe, which right now is mostly superheated plasma with a colossally high energy density. We would hug all that is, and ever would be, if we could, but we can't, so we say thanks instead. Thank you, the universe, as it existed a mere 10 to the power of minus 37 seconds after the Big Bang. If you really are sensitive to initial conditions, then I hope nobody ever goes back in time to mess with you. And then, at last and finally, my thanks race just a little past the origins of the Big Bang, give secret unknowable props all around, and careen back to the present where you're here reading this book. Hey, thanks, babe. I think we covered everyone. Read about the author. Start the story already. Ryan North was born on October 20th, 1980. Since then, he has done the following things. This is not an exhaustive list. Failed to die for over 11,322 days in a row. Eaten food and then converted that food into ideas. Kissed over 5 different people not from his family, all of whom totally came back for more. Studied computer science and computational linguistics and graduated from university. Twice. Written the online comic Dinosaur Comics. It's that comic with dinosaurs that you love. Co-edited the anthology Machine of Death, which is a book about people who know how they will die. Written the Adventure Time comic book series, which has a lot of really awesome stuff going on in it. Analyzed the novelization of Back to the Future in way more detail than probably anyone could have anticipated. Gotten married, and adopted a dog named Noam Chomsky. Oh, and he totally wrote this book. Okay, your stalling tactics are really easy to see through and also really confusing because it's not like someone has a gun to your head and is forcing you to read this book, right? If this is indeed the case, and you are totally fine, let me know by not sending a message back in time to me to the very moment I'm reading these words, which is March 25th, 2013. First hour, 11th minute, 34th second, p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, terrific. We're good. All you can do now is choose your character. You have just been born. Congratulations, good work on that thing. Now, surprise! Babies are boring, so we're gonna jump ahead in time to a point where you're an adult and you've already lived a bunch of your life. But I promise most of what we're skipping over was really dull. You ate a lot and slept a lot and made some friends, tears were shed, makeouts were totally had, etc. It was a bunch of high school stuff. The awesome stuff starts now. So, let's begin, my friend. Remind me again who you are. Are you Ophelia? She's an awesome lady in her late 20s with a calm, competent, and resourceful demeanor. She's got a +1 bonus to science, but she's also got a -1 weakness against water, so heads up. Hamlet? He's an emo teen in his early 30s. Also, he's the Prince of Denmark. Hamlet has a +1 resistance to magic, but there's no magic in this adventure, so this never gets mentioned again as of right now. Hamlet Sr.? He's the King of Denmark, 50 years old. He's super good at fighting and leading men into battle in naps. Let's say +1 to each? Look, bottom line, he's an unstoppable machine of death, and should you choose to be him, you may experience kingly glory. Play as Ophelia. Play as Hamlet. Play as Hamlet Sr. You are King Hamlet. All of Denmark is under your command. Everything's going so great for you. At present, you are in Norway, where just this afternoon, you led Denmark's forces to an astounding victory during which you personally killed the Norwegian king. Stabbed him right through the head, you did. His eye popped out and rolled on the ground, and then you stepped on it. Whoa, your ass is bad. You are a badass. You decide after a day of being good at fighting, you should have a nap. You've earned it. You settle down in an orchard for some nappy times. During your delightful rest, your brother pours some poison in your ear, and you die. Surprise! You didn't know poisons work that way. Wow, you've barely made one choice so far, and you're dead already. Way to go, champ. You're really good at books, huh? It's just a stellar job you're doing here, Chuckles. The end.
That was it for
Okay,
Hamlet
fine.
Seniors?
I feel sorry for you. Here's a choice that you can choose. Become a ghost.
I want to make a checkpoint.
Okay, fine. I feel sorry for you. You choose non-existence over being able to float and having spooky powers. It wasn't even a good one, but it is the last decision you ever make. Until you play this book again, that is. The end. P.S. I hope you do play this book again, because there is more to it than dying like an ultra chump in the first 2 turns. I promise.
Game. Game, please. I know what this is supposed to be. There you go.
William Shakespeare, 1564 AD to whenever he died, was well known for borrowing from existing You have just been... You are King Hamlet. All of...
I'm gonna see if I can change this one more time. Oh god.
You are King Hamlet. All of Denmark is under your command. Everything's going so great for you. At present, you are in Norway, where just this afternoon, you led Denmark's force. Okay, fine. I feel so. Good news. The afterlife exists, and it's full of ghosts. You know this because you're now one of them. You get to spend all your time slamming doors, rattling chains, and telling on the person who killed you. But here's the thing. I, the author, told you, the reader, that your brother poured poison in your ear while you napped. But you, as Hamlet Sr., have no idea how you died. You slept through the whole thing, so you need to figure out who killed you if you're going to revenge yourself on your murderer, assuming you even were murdered. Because remember that, for all you know, you could have died of a heart attack. This is an example of dramatic irony. Only since we're in the second person, it's an amazing example of an entirely new species of dramatic irony. Something I'm going to call second-person pronoun paradoxical autodramatic irony. You are now aware of information that you're not aware of. This should be fun. Except that you died of a heart attack. Listen in on people's conversations and see if any of them talk about how they totally killed you.
Probably,
You say out loud to nobody in particular.
probably I just died of a heart attack. Yes, there's definitely no foul play to investigate here.
You're not that curious about the circumstances of your own death, but there's certainly room for incurious people in the afterlife. You, for example, spend the rest of your afterlife, which is forever, training little ghost puppies how to be better dogs. And they're so cute, and they stay puppies forever and never grow up, but just get better and better and cuter and cuter. And, oh my gosh, it's adorable. The end.
I just wanted to see that one for. I like making some of the wrong choices sometimes in these parody games just to see.
William Shakespeare, 1560. You have just been born. You are king. Okay, fine. I feel sorry for. Good news. The afterlife. You hang around Norway for a bit, trying to listen in on what people are saying, but they're all speaking Norwegian. You only speak Danish, so understanding Norwegian is a little difficult. It all sounds like Swedish to you, which actually makes a lot of sense, since Danish, Norwegian, and Swedish are all related North Germanic languages, descended from early linguistic differentiation between regular Germanic speakers and North Germanic speakers around 200 AD. You nod your head, agreeing that all of this is both accurate and extremely interesting. While these three languages are generally supposed to be mutually intelligible,
Yeah.
you can understand Norwegian speakers only if you're concentrating, which you are, and if they're speaking slowly and clearly, which they're not, as everyone is running around upset about war, and all these kings getting killed. Ironically, Norwegian speakers can understand Danish easier than Danish speakers understand Norwegian, but that doesn't help you much. That would only be useful if you were playing as a Norwegian king, whose ghost is stowed away on your army's boat headed back to Denmark. But I haven't given you that option, even though it would be extremely awesome. If you're wondering what happens to this vengeful ghost king, I can tell you only this. The answer exists in your imagination. But here's the good news. It turns out written Danish and written Norwegian are actually pretty similar. So you spend the next several nights haunting people, quietly reading their diaries while they sleep peacefully in their beds. And you don't know this, but ghosts do this all the time. Ghosts just love sneaking a peek at the secrets of the living. It takes a while, but you finally find the diary of someone who wrote, on the day you died, that she was wandering by a garden, minding her own business, when she saw some Danish guy pour something in some other Danish guy's ear. Hey, that sounds like what could have happened to you. But remember, you don't know that's exactly what happened to you because of the new irony we invented. Wake up this person and ask her about it. Wake up this person and hold up a piece of paper where you've written down a question asking her about it. You grab a piece of paper and write down the words, "Hey, I'm not here to kill you. I just want to know about that murder you maybe witnessed." But in Danish, of course. Haha. You gently shake the woman awake while holding the piece of paper up in front of her. She's freaked out initially. She was just woken up by a ghostly apparition from beyond the grave. But once she reads your note, she looks at you suspiciously and says, "For real?" You flip over the paper and write, "Yeah, I'm the guy that got killed maybe. And I guess I want to revenge my death or whatever. But please speak slowly as Norwegian is not my native language. I'm from Denmark." "Oh," the woman says in Danish. "I speak Danish too."
Kick-ass!
You reply. She tells you what she saw and gives you a physical description of the guy. Unfortunately, the man answering to her description could only be one person. Your brother, Claudius. Congratulations, my king. You now know what you know, so that whole second-person pronoun paradoxical auto-dramatic irony thing has been slain. You've been awarded 500 experience points, plus you've unlocked a new quest, Revenge Yourself on Claudius. You're feeling pretty chuffed about this whole situation. Okay, let's revenge your death. Your murderer is getting away with it in Denmark. Swim back to Denmark. Wait for the next boat back to Denmark.
Bella's nodding her head. She's going, she's doing the sleep jerk. So I'm gonna bug her. I'm gonna bug you because you're sleepy. Yeah. I bug you because you're sleepy. I bug you because you're sleepy. You're so sleepy. Oh, stretches. Yeah. Big stretches. And there she goes. But not far.
It's like 200 kilometers between the two nations. You know that, right? Apparently not. So you start to swim back to Denmark. But it's a lot of work to keep your body corporeal so that you can swim. So eventually you get tired and stop. For a while, you float above the water, but that gets boring. So for most of the journey, you float down to the ocean floor and travel along it. Hey, there's a sunken pirate ship here. Hey, there might be treasure in it. Examine pirate ship. Ignore it. Just arrive in Denmark. Man, it's awesome. And it's so cool to be an underwater explorer who doesn't need to breathe. I mean, it's kind of hard to see things without a light source, but your ghostly body glows a little when you want it to, so it's not bad. The pirate ship itself seems recently sunk. There are bodies trapped below decks, and yeah, that's unpleasant. The ocean bacteria haven't really started decomposing them yet. Bodies, man. Being corporeal, man. I don't know. You find the treasure room, and it's empty. It seems like this ship was attacked, raided, and then sunk. Somewhere up above your head, sailing on the surface of the great ocean Atlantic, is a really tough pirate ship that's just looking for treasure and or trouble. Too bad you're already dead, huh? But even if you were alive, what does a ghost need with money anyway? So I guess this has kind of been a pointless but still awesome endeavor. You explored the ocean bottom and found a sunken ship. Don't let anyone tell you that's not awesome. Okay, after several more days of very slow travel that we just skipped over because it got boring, you're back on Denmark shores. Arrive in Denmark. You know what? Go back and explore the ocean some more. Yep. It does kind of rule, huh? You realize that, wow, there's a lot of stuff down on the ocean floor that no living human eyes have ever seen. And while your dead ghost eyes won't actually change that fact, there's still lots of cool stuff to explore. You eventually travel all the way to the Mariana Trench, the very deepest part of the ocean, over 547 fathoms below sea level. Here, the water above presses down at over 1,000 times standard atmospheric pressure, and the temperature is just above freezing. There are xenophyophores here, which are honest-to-God single-celled organisms so big you can see them with your bare eyes. Why, here's one that's over 10 centimeters long. This is nuts. This whole place is nuts, and you're learning so much. You give up on your revenge plan and instead devote your afterlife to being a marine biologist and oceanic cartographer. And it turns out ghost marine biology is pretty advanced compared to a live human marine biology. due in no small part to how you can hang around on the ocean floor for as long as you want and can't die. Nevertheless, you write several seminal ghost books on the subject, including Look at This Weird Bug Thing I Found, and Gross, Life on the Ocean Floor, and make many 100,000 ghost dollars. The end. Good news, the afterlife exists. You grab a
We're going back to the sea.
man. You make it back to Denmark. The first thing you want to do is track down your brother to take revenge. Turns out, that's really easy because he's in the first place you check, the royal court. He's there with your widow, Gertrude. Weird. They're acting all close and stuff. Oh well, he's probably just trying to comfort her after your untimely death. Ha, brothers are really great. Though, maybe not. Listen in on what they're saying. Ignore what they're saying. I'm certain there's nothing untoward.
Did Tumblr even do anything today? I didn't think to look. Oh my god. I didn't even remember that was April 1st.
Hey, Gertrude.
Says Claudius.
I sure am happy that we married each other, even if it was so soon after your first husband died under mysterious circumstances.
Whoa, that certainly was, in terms of exposition, a very efficient sentence. You decide instantly that your initial revenge plan, haunt a mirror so that instead of Claudius's reflection, he sees you. And then you mirror his movements, so he's not really sure what's going on. Is needlessly complex and stupid. Dude killed you and married your widow. Since you are from olden times, you have an extremely old-fashioned sense of ownership over female sexuality, so this really gets stuck in your craw. Instead of spooking Claudius, you decide to kill Claudius, complete the quest. Get your son to kill Claudius instead.
Oh, sounds like I'm not missing anything then.
This is awesome, and it's going to go great, because who better to know how to kill someone than someone who has recently been through that getting killed to death process themselves. You wait until Claudius is sleeping, next to your beloved Gertrude for some reason. Huh, that's weird. Then wake him up by tapping him on the forehead a bit.
Hey, it's me,
You whisper.
your brother, the one you murdered.
Ah, crap.
Claudius whispers back.
Ghosts are real?
Real pissed at you, anyway.
You reply.
Listen, I'll cut to the chase. We are from a time where an eye for an eye is considered to be a good thing to build a justice system around. So I am here to kill you.
How?
Claudius asks, his eyes wide, terrified.
Oh, geez. So many ways.
You say, counting them off on your fingers.
I could startle you and make you have a heart attack, but that takes time. I could throw a pot at your head until you die, but that lacks grace. Instead, check this out.
You move your ghost body so it's floating right above Claudius. He stares at you, his eyes wide.
I'm sorry.
He whispers.
Way too late for that.
You reply. You lower yourself to him, face to face, and keep going. His face dominates your field of vision, and then you're inside his skull, inside the pink of his brain, his blood darkly obscuring your sight. You sink slowly deeper and deeper into him, lining up your ghost body with his regular body, until you are just about occupying exactly the same space. Then you make yourself corporeal. What happens next? happens so quickly and with such force that it's hard to describe. But Claudius explodes everywhere, captures most of it. I mean, you're fine, but man is this disgusting. Literally disgusting. Gertrude wakes up, dripping in gore, screaming. You, my friend, have achieved revenge. You roll over onto your back and apologize to Gertrude. You explain over her screams what happened, and you tell her that you still love her, even though she married your brother mere weeks after you died. But you can't be with her anymore, you say. You tell her you need to go find your own path.
Sorry about the bad.
You say, floating up through the roof. You spend the rest of the afterlife acting as an immortal judge from beyond the grave, exploding those who have committed the most egregious crimes, merely blowing the hands off those who have been awful people, but still, you feel, deserve a second chance. People whisper your name in fear. Criminals are a cowardly, superstitious lot after all, and it works out pretty good for you. You do a lot of good work for a lot of people, and yep, it turns out that blowing up bad guys never does get old. The end.
Red or blue? Oh my god. Totally deserved, though.
Good news. The afterlife exists. You bang some pots and pans together until she wakes up.
Hey, I'm a ghost, but not of anyone you know. Listen, tell me more about that garden murder you saw.
You say. In response, the woman looks at you terrified. She says something in Norwegian and you suddenly feel dumb. You're already a spooky ghost, but now you're a spooky ghost talking to her in a language she doesn't even know. Anyway, by the time you find a piece of paper and write down, "Hey, I don't want to kill you," it's too late. The woman has run out of the room, and every time she sees you, she gets mad and throws something at you and leaves. You kind of blew it here, King Hamlet. You keep reading your diary every night for a few months, hoping that she'll mention more about the things she saw, but it's mostly filled with some really personal stuff about her feelings, and you kind of feel honestly creepy about this whole situation. The stuff that isn't personal is about how she wonders if ghosts read diaries, and if they do, if they know what totally awful people they're being. Long story short, eventually you leave her alone, never find out who murdered you, and settle down to a nice pleasant afterlife with the other ghosts in Ghost Norway. You guys do charades with each other. Good news. You have You go down to the docks and start poking your head into the bridge of every boat you can find, flipping through the captain's logs and itineraries until you find one that's headed for Denmark. And it leaves in just a few minutes. Nice. This is really convenient. During the voyage, you poke around the boat looking for things to amuse yourself with. You experiment with doing some ghost things, like putting your head inside a barrel of wine and then making your head corporeal. But that just causes the barrel to explode with the sudden pressure inside, and makes you get wine in your eyes, so you don't do that more than a few times. It only takes a while before your boat arrives in Denmark. Arrive in Denmark. You make it back to Denmark. The first thing you want to do is track down your
Yeah.
brother to take revenge. Turns out,
I forgot
that's
all
really
about
easy
that
because
until
he's in the
earlier
first
today.
place
I
you
was
check,
watching a video.
the Royal Court. He's there with your widow, Gertrude. Weird. They're acting all...
Do we know what time the direct is at? Cause like I have work and I don't want to miss it, but if it's not at like 6 or 7 a.m. like most things are, then I'm screwed. Excuse me. Excuse me again. Cool, I'll be able to see it, which means I should go to bed really early today. Ma! No! 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 Why are you yelling at me so much, Bella? She's yelling at me.
Using spooky ghost powers, you completely ignore what Gertrude and Claudius say to each other. That evening, you try to revenge yourself on Claudius by spooking him. The problem is, he never looks in any of the mirrors you're haunting. He assumes wind is knocking over his pots, and he thinks the ghostly wailing from beyond the grave is probably just a sick dog outside, who's having a pretty rough go of it lately. This spooking him isn't going well, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Hey.
You'll have to get your revenge some other way. Maybe by killing him? Reflecting on the fact he did kill you, you decide the only suitable revenge is to kill him as well. Because why not? You could totally take him. Especially since you've already died once and lived to talk about it. But who is the best suited to do the killing? You could do it, but you did have a son. Partly so you wouldn't have to do every single thing around here. Kill Claudius yourself. Get your son to kill Claudius instead. Okay. Why? Because then he'll have sullied his hands with murder. And better for someone new to be forced to commit the murder act than for me to do it myself for some reason. Oh yeah, wait, this is dumb. I'm already
Bella.
dead and invisible and I can fly.
What are you
Guess I'll
doing?
just do it myself. Right. Because who better to know how to kill someone than someone who has recently been through that getting killed to death process themselves? You wait until...
Oh, wait.
Right. Because who
That
better to know
changed.
how to kill someone
That was
than
different.
someone who has recently been through that getting killed to death process themselves? You wait until Claudius is sleeping, next to your beloved Gertrude for some reason. Huh, that's weird. Then wake him up by tapping him on the forehead a bit.
Hey, it's me,
You whisper.
Okay.
your brother, the one you murdered.
Ah, crap.
Claudius whispers back.
Ghosts are real?
Real pissed at you, anyway.
You reply.
Listen, I'll cut to the chase. We are from a time where an eye for an eye is considered to be a good thing to build a justice system around. So I am here to kill you.
How?
Claudius asks, his eyes wide,
Meh.
terrified.
Oh, jeez, so many ways.
You say, counting them off on your fingers.
I could startle you and make you have a heart attack, but that takes time. Throw a
Wow.
pot at your head until you die, but that lacks grace. Instead, check this out.
You move your ghost body so it's
Fine,
floating right above Claudius.
fine,
He stares at you, his eyes wide.
I'm sorry.
He
fine.
whispers.
Way too late for that.
You reply,
Okay, I'm
You lower
working
yourself to
on
him.
it.
face to face, and keep going. His face dominates your field of vision, and then you're inside his skull. inside the pink of his brain, his blood darkly obscuring your sight. You sink slowly deeper and deeper into him, lining up your ghost body with his regular body, until you are just about occupying exactly the same space. Then you make yourself corporeal. What happens next happens so quickly and with such force that it's hard to describe. But Claudius explodes everywhere, captures most of it. I mean, you're fine, but man is this disgusting. Literally disgusting. Gertrude wakes up, dripping in gore, screaming. You, my friend, have achieved revenge. Still corporeal, you roll over onto your back and apologize to Gertrude. You explain over her screams what happened, and say that you hope she'll be happy being married to a ghost. Gertrude stops screaming.
While you were gone, I kinda married Claudius,
She admits.
but I never stopped loving you.
Understand that, just as you can have more than one good friend at a time, the human heart is capable of loving more than one person at a time, and be cool about it. Get upset that you married your brother. Right. Because who better to know how to kill someone than someone who has recently been through that getting killed to death process themselves? You wait until Claudius is sleeping, next to your beloved Gertrude for some reason. Huh, that's weird. Then wake him up by tapping him on the forehead a bit.
Hey, it's me.
You whisper.
Your bro.
Hooray!
Gertrude says, hugging you. She's covered in your brother's guts, but it's still a nice moment. I must say, you are doing really well, King Hamlet. Not only have you revenged yourself in record time, you've also reconciled with your widow. Nicely done. You reveal yourself to the royal court the next morning, and nobody's happier to see you than your son Hamlet Jr. Your reappearance as a ghost does cause a minor constitutional crisis when someone points out that you might not be able to reassume the throne, but a quick flip through the Constitution reveals that there's nothing in the rules that say a ghost can't be king. There's actually a section that explicitly says that, should this happen, the ghost assuming the throne would be totally neato. I'm serious, that's what it says. Totally neato. You've got yourself a pretty cool nation, Hamlet Sr. You rule with your wife by your side for a really long time, and even get help solving national problems from the ghosts of history's greatest rulers, many of whom become close personal friends. Your final score is 3,400 megapoints, and I'm really proud of you. Nicely done. The end. Good news, the afterlife exists, and it's full. You grab. You go down. You make it back to Denmark.
Hey, Gertrude.
Okay. Why? Because then he'll have sullied his hands with murder, and better for someone new to be forced to commit the murder act than for me to do it myself for some reason. Okay, well, I did promise that you would get to make your own choices here, so that's what you do. You decide you're going to get Hamlet to do a murder for you, even though that's awful. That's awful, dude. Listen, hypothetical question. Let's say you do that, and Hamlet is eventually successful, and you are revenged. What would you do then? What would you do with your afterlife if revenge was no longer its driving force? Accountant, actor, amusement park employee, animal husbandry, animator, architect, athlete, bakery owner, bouncer, brewmaster, cake decorator, chef, comic book artist, counselor, cowboy, engineer, explorer, firefighter, food critic, game tester, geologist, librarian, linguist, long-haul trucker, makeup artist, marine biologist, mechanic, musician, painter, personal trainer, photographer, physician, pilot, policy analyst, professional gambler, professional golfer, programmer, researcher, restaurateur, roller derby player, sex worker, skateboarder, spy, tamer of ghost dinosaurs, travel writer, watchmaker, water slide builder, water slide tester, welder, window cleaner, writer. I'm not here to consider life-affirming hypotheticals. I am here to see my son murder a man. Tricked into deciding that maybe revenge isn't the best thing to obsess about once you're already dead and have fun ghost powers anyway, you instead do that job you just picked, and it's amazing. It's more than amazing. You turn what could have been a simple thing to do in the afterlife into an actual social movement that accomplishes tons of good. Everyone rad in the afterlife sees your work and thinks you're great. And man, this place is chock full of awesome people, so that's really something. Your work has inspired an entire world. Thank you. And good work, King Hamlet. You managed to overcome your stupid thirst for revenge, and made the afterlife awesome, and didn't mess up your only son's life either. This is really awesome. You did a great job. I'm gonna give you like 50 billion decapoints. Good news. The afterlife exists. You hang around Norway for... You grab a piece of... Man, it... You make it back to Denmark.
Hey, Gertrude.
Says Claudia. Okay. Okay, well... Okay, right. But here's the thing. I'm not super cool with having to go through this whole adventure with you, in which you induce your only son to commit a murderous act of revenge on your behalf, when you're already dead anyway. It's kinda awful. So if you want to tell Hamlet to go kill his stepfather, you can. In fact, look, you just did. But now you're going to have to live with the consequences, as the man who you just induced to murder. You are now your son Hamlet. How's that taste, bucko? Now, you have to go do a murder. Be Hamlet and promise the ghost of your dead father to kill Claudius. But I don't want to be my son. I want to be a ghost. Listen, King Hamlet. You already had your chance to be a ghost, and you pretty much wasted it. And now you don't want to do the dirty work of revenge? Fine. You know what? Fine. Go off and have your own adventure. See if I care. Here we go. Just fill in the blanks. Whee! What fun. You are the ghost of a dead king. You discover a blank, kind of blank, that can be used by blank to blank a giant blank. Things are really blank for a while, but then they blank into blank. A side effect of your blank is that you come back to life again with a brand new blank and everything, but then you die again super quickly. It's very blank. After you die again, your body is blank into a blank, and then blank into a terrible blank, so that everyone can blank until they blank. The end. P.S. For that last paragraph, may I suggest you fill it in with installed, steel colossus, magnified, city-sized monstrosity, toil at its feet, and realize they shouldn't have honored your last wishes. Good news. You hang around. You grab a. It's. Man. You make it back to Denmark.
Hey,
Okay. Okay. You clear your throat, hold one hand open in the air in front of you, and promise a ghost that you will kill an alive human. This is what you say. Yea, from the table of my memory, I'll wipe away all trivial fond records, all saws of books, all forms, all pressures past, that youth and observation copied there, and thy commandment all alone shall live, within the book and volume of my brain, unmixed with baser matter. Yes, by heaven. Your ghost dad seems pretty cool with that. You have begun quest Kill Claudius. It's worth 3,500 experience points. That's a lot. Leave it there and return to Horatio. Throw in a little sexism for good measure. You walk back to where Horatio is waiting for you. Listen, Horatio. Never speak of this whole, we totally saw a ghost thing, okay? We've got to keep it a secret. That's cool, says Horatio. No, I'm serious, man, you say, grabbing his shoulders. Some really serious stuff is going to go down, and I need you to keep this a secret. Swear that you'll never talk about this. I swear, says Horatio.
Swear it!
Booms your dad's voice out of nowhere. He already did, you shout. Horatio looks at you questioning. Hamlet, bro, what's this all about? He says. There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, you begin. Than are dreamt of in my philosophy, Horatio finishes, annoyed. Fine. Right, whatever. Okay. Horatio will keep your secret, and you've got a quest from a ghost to fulfill. And at the end, he'll probably give you some cool loot for completing it. Maybe? I mean, it's possible. Anyway, it's past midnight, and Claudius is probably falling down drunk. What now? Say goodbye to Horatio and go kill. You wait until it's 2 a.m., planning to sneak into Claudius's room and give him the old stabby stab. But on your way there, you find him passed out in the hallway. There's a bottle of booze in his hand. He really is a cartoon drunk. This is gonna be real easy. You hold your hand over his mouth so he can't scream and slit his throat, and he's dead within the minute. Ta-da! You leave quietly, making sure not to be seen, and head down to the shore to wash your blood-soaked hands and your blood-soaked clothes. The ocean water cleans off the blood quickly, which is great because you heard it was hard to get out damn blood spots. Turns out, nope, it's actually really easy. You're glad you stayed cool and rational and didn't freak out at all during this process. Good job, champ. You walk home in your wet clothes, change into adorable pajamas, get into bed, and fall asleep. Content in the knowledge that you were right to murder a dude, and that you even had supernatural forces on your side, your dreams are generally peaceful. There's some sex stuff in there too, but whatever, man, it happens. Don't even worry about it, it's honestly not a big deal. In the morning, you act super surprised that Claudius got killed to death. What? You say, waving your hands in the air. Come to think of it, that was probably a little much, but everyone bought it, so phew. And then later you become king. And check it. Your economic policies are both wise and fair, and your country becomes way prosperous. Due to economics not being a zero-sum game, you not only make the lives of your subjects better, but you actually improve the lives of those they trade with too. Hamlet, you've literally made the world a better place. Nice. And all you had to do was kill a human being. The end. P.S. Oh, I meant to mention it sooner, but one day you step on a butterfly that has the cascade effect of preventing not one, but 2 worldwide wars from occurring, centuries down the line. So, good job all around, I'd say. Keep on killing everyone who interferes with your preferred version of history, I'd say. Congratulations, you were really terrific at being Hamlet. The end. For real this time.
Okay, well, that was at least 2 hours, so I'll go nappy naps.